welcome back. My name is Aaliyah, and today I'm going to be talking to you about passing NCLEX with 130 questions. No, not 60. I passed with 130. I know. So, and of course, when I got to that 60 mark, I did feel somewhat nervous and almost panicked, but I'm just like, you okay? Get to that 130. Remember how it goes. So, I ended up stopping at 130, and when it took me 3 hours to take my exam. I didn't get up for a break at all. I sat there for the 3 hours and I took it because I didn't want to break my concentration. But I had a good number of select all that apply. I had some questions that seemed easy and some that were hard. It was just like up and down, up and down. And I remember that last one, I was like, make sure you get this last one right. Make sure you get this last question right. So, how did I study? Now, a school that I was going to provided Kaplan for us, and we had a Kaplan exam at the end of each semester along with our final for the class. And when it came to our last semester, we had to do 125 questions off of Kaplan. Every single Monday or Tuesday it was due, and we had to do remediation. And our remediation was, if you got 10 questions wrong, half of that you had to write out the entire question, the answer, and write that down in a booklet. So as you can imagine, we had to write that down. And as you're writing it, you're reading it, and it's going into your memory. So we did that, and that actually helped. So Kaplan questions. Number 2, they gave us UWorld as well. Once we were all, I think we got down to the end, and we got our UWorld. And UWorld is excellent. Let me tell you with UWorld. The difference with UWorld and Kaplan is that with UWorld, they're giving you the explanation and they'll give you a picture. So they're going to tell you, okay, this is the position that's best, or this is where this is located, and they're going to show you the picture. Kaplan doesn't show you the picture, but Kaplan still works because you're getting an explanation that you can read. But UWorld was the bomb. So did UWorld questions continuously. I read the explanations. I digested the explanations. I did my own studying, but I just constantly did questions and did questions. And when I went to take the test, I realized that it's not an exam that you really can just load yourself with information and pass. You really have, it was really from the knowledge that I had over the entire nursing program put into one, and from doing those questions, like that what I feel like helped me the most. Doing questions from Kaplan and doing questions from UWorld, I felt like our school prepared us for our nursing exam. So my advice to you would be, make sure as you're going through your nursing program, you're doing questions, but also if you're trying to study for NCLEX, I would say do UWorld. And if you have Kaplan, do Kaplan, but do as much questions as possible. Sit down and take exams of like 50 questions, 100 questions, 120, so you can prepare yourself for that load. The next thing I want to say is, gosh, I forgot my train of thought. So questions. Okay. So the score that I got on my assessments for UWorld was a 53 and a 57. So I know that you guys can compare. And for my Kaplan readiness exam, I made a 66. So maybe you can use those numbers and you could feel a little bit better. Maybe you got a 60 or something like that. When we were taking our Kaplan practice exams, we were supposed to shoot for above a 60. That's what we were told, like continue to try to get above a 60. So if you were getting 40s, you were supposed to practice until you were getting above 60s, or read information, do what you needed to do to get above 60. So when I took that readiness exam, I made a 66. So I felt a little bit relieved going into my Kaplan. I took that test like 2 days before my Kaplan, and the day before the exam, I actually was calm. I did a little bit of questions, I did a little bit of reading, and then I was like, okay, now you need to relax. And I went in, I took my exam around 4 o'clock, and like I said, it took me 3 hours and 1:30, but I passed. So I'm wishing you the best, and just know that if it doesn't stop at 60, it doesn't mean you failed. Okay? Bye.